Hi, I'm Lisa Murray, aka Lisa with the Fringe, and I am an artist, music producer, and audio engineer. In this video, I've teamed up with MXL to walk you through how I record my own vocals here in my home studio. If you want to get crystal clear vocals, record your own demos, or produce your own tracks at home but don't know where to start, this video is for you. Before we get started, I want to walk you through my setup and equipment. I use a MacBook Pro, and the audio interface that I use is a UAD Apollo X4. I also have my trusted headphones and my preferred digital audio workstation, or DAW, when I'm recording vocals is Pro Tools. And last but not least, my favorite microphone ever, the MXL 990. The MXL 990 is a brilliant cardioid condenser microphone. These types of mics are amazing for recording vocals because of their ability to capture detail and their wide frequency response. The cardioid polar pattern also helps to eliminate any ambient noise because it's very directional, and this makes for a very crisp, clear, and upfront vocal sound. To start, plug your microphone into your interface via an XLR cable and make sure that you've got phantom power on. This is denoted by a plus 48V symbol on your interface. Large diaphragm condenser microphones need phantom power to get up and running. All set? Let's get into it. When recording with a condenser microphone like the 990, there are a couple of options on how you can set up your microphone for recording. The first is the standard mic setup, where you set up your microphone stand as normal, pop your mic on top in an upright position facing you. The second option is this overhead mic setup. If your microphone has a boom arm like this one, you can set your mic up so that it hangs overhead. This is really useful if you've got lyrics in front of you that you need to read, or if you're very expressive with your hands while you sing like I am. This is my personal preference for recording vocals in my home studio. I personally don't recommend any handheld approach. Large diaphragm condenser microphones are very sensitive and they will pick up any interference or rustling caused by your hand movements. So I would recommend using a mic stand if you've got a microphone like this one. And because these mics are so sensitive, it is highly recommended to use a pop filter or a pop shield when you're recording with a condenser microphone. This will eliminate any p or b plosives that you might have in your vocal performance. These mics are really sensitive and they will pick those up and can sometimes cause a bit of clipping or distortion in your vocal take. If you haven't recorded in your room before, it's really important to think about your mic placement in the room. I recommend walking around the room with the microphone and seeing how it sounds best in your space. Give it a go, try out a few different things, and see what you think sounds best. A general rule of thumb is to stay as close to the center of the room as possible to avoid any unwanted reflections from windows, walls, and doors. Another important note, I do not recommend recording your vocals in a closet. I know it might seem like a good idea, but with a detailed microphone like this, it can actually make your sound very boxy, and it can make a lot of issues for you in your mixing and production stages. So now that our mic is all set up, it's time for us to open our DAW and create a new project. This one is going to be called The Kind of Girl, which is my debut single that's out now on all streaming platforms if you want to check it out, and that's what we're going to be recording to today. We're going to bring in the backing track and I'm going to do a vocal take for you guys. Then we're going to import the audio for our backing track. Pop it onto a new track. And once we have that imported, it's time to create a new track for our vocal microphone. It's really important that this should be a mono track, and that's because we just have one microphone, one signal coming into our interface, going into our DAW. Now, our instrumental is a stereo track, and that's because there are lots of different elements in this track that have been mixed together into a stereo mix. But make sure that you record your vocals in mono. Once you have your signal coming into your DAW, it's time for some gain staging. People often wonder what's the best level to record at to make sure you avoid any clipping while also keeping the vocal nice and loud in the mix. For this, I personally like to keep my levels between -18 and -6 dB. This means that the quietest parts of my performance will be at -18 dB, and any of the louder parts of my performance will be at around -6 dB. If you're new to recording, it's important to take your time with gain staging. Do a few dummy takes of your performance, listen back, watch the levels, and really dial it in to make sure you're getting it exactly right. Make sure you set your levels in your headphone mix so that you can hear yourself clearly and that you can use the backing track as a guide to get you through the song and stay on key. And finally, be kind to yourself when you're recording your vocals. Add a nice reverb, delay, or any other effects that make you feel like an absolute rock star when you're recording your vocals at home. So now I'm all set up and ready to do a take of the chorus of my song, The Kinda Girl. Here we go. Cause I'm the kind of girl boys like you fall for. I'm the kind of girl you long to hold. I'm the kind of girl that fuels your fire. I'm the kind of girl that heals your soul. And I'm the kind of girl that you could die for. I'm the kind of girl I'll be your muse. But I'm the kind of girl who'll break your heart, boy. And I'm the kind of girl you don't want to lose. I hope this helps you get up and running with recording your vocals at home. Remember to share your projects online and use the hashtag CreateWithMXL so that we can keep up with all the amazing things that you're creating using these tips. My name is Lisa Murray. You can find me everywhere at Lisa with the Fringe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.